The sky over Earth was calm, but far above, something unusual moved among the stars. A spacecraft unlike any human design appeared, sleek and shimmering with colors that seemed alive. All over the world, scientists and military observers stared at the monitors, unsure if it was a threat or a gift. Inside the ship, the alien queen watched, her golden eyes scanning Earth carefully. She was tall, elegant, and carried an aura of power that made even the bravest humans shiver. From the very first moment, she decided, humanity was not ready to meet her kind. Despite this, one human caught her attention. He was ordinary, yet there was something different in his eyes, something that showed courage and kindness. The queen's curiosity grew, though she did not show it. Her ship hovered silently above a large city, unseen by most. Only a few sensitive instruments could detect the strange energy surrounding it. On the ground, the human, named Elias, noticed a flicker in the sky. He had always been fascinated by space and strange phenomena. Tonight, his curiosity turned into awe and fear as the ship descended slowly. People gathered on rooftops and streets, staring up with wide eyes. Many tried to call for help, but their phones and radios failed. It was as if the queen's presence alone blocked all human technology. Elias felt a strange pull, an invisible force that guided him to an abandoned park. There, under the silver light of the moon, he saw the ship land silently. A door opened, and a figure stepped out, tall and regal. Her skin glowed slightly, and her movements were smooth like water. She looked around the park, ignoring the humans nearby. Then her gaze fell on Elias, and she paused, as if measuring something unseen. The humans around him held their breath, frozen in fear. No sound came from the queen, yet her presence spoke loudly of authority and intelligence. Elias felt a mix of fear and strange calm, as if she was judging his soul. Suddenly, a holographic message appeared above the ship, strange symbols glowing in the night. Scientists at monitoring stations worldwide tried to decode it, but no human could understand. The queen had communicated without words, yet her message was clear: humans must wait. Hours passed, but the queen did not attack. Instead, she observed silently, moving around with precision. Elias noticed she was watching not just him, but all of humanity. Her expression was unreadable, but there was a hint of interest when she looked at him. Then, as mysteriously as she came, the ship lifted, leaving a ripple of energy in the air. People whispered about miracles, aliens, and the future that suddenly seemed uncertain. Elias stood alone in the park, staring at the empty sky. He felt chosen, yet afraid of what it meant. The alien queen had rejected humanity as a whole, but for some reason, she had not rejected him. And deep down, he knew this was only the beginning. Something extraordinary was coming, something that could change both human and alien destiny. And no one could yet imagine what that future held. The stars seemed to shimmer with secrets as the queen disappeared into the night, leaving behind a world full of wonder, fear, and the first whisper of hope. This was the arrival, the first encounter that would shape everything. Elias did not yet know it, but his life, and the fate of humanity, was about to change forever. After the queen departed, Elias could not stop thinking about her. Her golden eyes, the calm authority in her presence, and the strange pull he had felt, it all stayed with him. At first, he tried to ignore it, telling himself it was a dream or hallucination. But over the next few days, strange things kept happening. Electronic devices near him acted strangely, screens flickered, and signals seemed to reach him alone. It was as if the queen's energy had touched him directly, leaving a connection no one else could feel. Scientists and government agents were still searching for clues about the ship. They could not explain why it came or why it vanished so quietly. Some called Elias a witness, others a possible risk. But he felt neither danger nor control, only curiosity and a strange sense of purpose. He began noticing subtle signs, unexplained lights, whispers in the wind, dreams of distant stars. Each time, he thought of the queen, and a question grew inside him: why did she choose him? One evening, while walking through the quiet city streets, Elias saw a small holographic projection floating in the air. It showed symbols he had seen during her visit, but this time they formed a pattern he could almost understand. The message was not for the world, it was for him. A soft voice echoed in his mind, gentle yet commanding. It told him that his actions would matter, that he was being tested. He did not fully understand, but he felt both fear and honor. Meanwhile, the queen returned to her ship, deep in observation. She studied Elias's world from above, noting his courage and kindness. Unlike most humans, he helped strangers without expectation, risked his safety for others. These small acts impressed her, though she remained distant and cautious. Her species valued strength, intelligence, and purity of intent. And Elias, in his simple human ways, was beginning to meet her expectations. Conflicts soon emerged, as other humans grew suspicious. Rumors spread about an alien watching Elias, calling him a spy, or claiming he had secret powers. Friends and colleagues avoided him, and fear began to isolate him. Yet he stayed focused, guided by the strange bond he could feel with the queen. He began following the symbols, tracing their origin, and deciphering their meaning step by step. Every discovery brought him closer to understanding her and the reason for her attention. Days turned into weeks, and Elias noticed more extraordinary things. He could sense when the queen was near, feel her thoughts like a soft current in his mind. She never spoke directly, but her presence guided him, teaching him patience, courage, and empathy. Others around him still doubted, but Elias learned to trust the invisible connection. It was a bond that went beyond words, beyond reason, beyond fear. One night, as he lay under the stars, he finally understood part of the queen's test. It was not about power or knowledge, but about heart. She wanted to see if a human could be worthy, not of her species, but of trust. Elias knew he had a choice, fear or courage, doubt or action. And deep inside, he felt ready to face whatever came next. The stage was set, the bond growing stronger, and the story between human and queen was only beginning. This was the moment when one human truly became chosen. And the world around him would soon feel the ripple of that choice. Weeks passed since the queen's arrival, and Elias could still feel her presence in small, strange ways. One evening, as he walked alone in the quiet park, the air shimmered, and a soft light appeared before him. The queen had returned, but this time she approached him directly, stepping from a hidden portal. She did not speak aloud, but a voice entered his mind, calm and clear, telling him not to be afraid. Elias's heart raced, yet he felt a strange sense of calm. He realized this was the first real contact, a forbidden connection between human and alien. The queen explained, through thoughts, that humans had been rejected because of their unpredictability. But she had watched him, studied his heart, and found something different. She tested his courage, his kindness, and his ability to care for others. It was not knowledge or power that mattered, it was character. Elias listened carefully, understanding the weight of her words. He felt honored, yet confused, questioning why one alien would choose to reveal herself to him. The queen warned him of dangers, both from humans who might fear or attack her and from her own people who would not approve. She moved closer, and Elias could see the faint glow of her skin, like light reflected from water. Her presence was commanding, yet gentle, as if she was both a teacher and a protector. Over the next days, Elias and the queen met in secret, hidden from the world. Every meeting revealed more about her, her thoughts, her culture, and the rules of her species. She was cautious, testing him gently, but he passed each challenge without realizing it. They formed a fragile bond, a connection that bridged the impossible gap between human and alien. Elias began to sense her emotions, her hopes and fears, while she learned about his humanity, his dreams, and courage. Tension rose as both sides threatened to interfere. Humans who noticed strange events feared alien influence, calling Elias a spy or a danger. Meanwhile, other aliens monitored the queen, suspicious of her unusual behavior. Each secret meeting became a test of trust and patience. They had to communicate carefully, silently, and without leaving evidence. One night, as Elias and the Queen met under a silver moon, she shared a vision of the future. It showed the possibility of harmony between humans and her species, but also great danger if humans failed to understand. She explained that this connection, though forbidden, could change everything. Elias felt the weight of responsibility, yet also a spark of hope. He realized their bond was more than curiosity, it was the beginning of something extraordinary. As the Queen withdrew for the night, Elias watched her disappear with a mixture of awe and determination. He knew the world outside did not understand, but he trusted her and himself. The secret contact had taught him courage, patience, and empathy beyond anything he had imagined. And deep inside, he felt that this was only the first step toward a future that could change both species. A forbidden contact had become a bridge, fragile yet unbreakable. And the story of the human chosen was only beginning to unfold. Weeks turned into months, and Elias could feel the connection with the Queen growing stronger. It was no longer just thoughts and visions, he felt her emotions, her fears, and her hopes. Then, one night, the Queen revealed something shocking: she was carrying his child. The words did not come aloud, but Elias felt them in his mind, pure and undeniable. A child that would be the first human-alien hybrid, a being that could change the fate of both species. Elias's heart raced with a mix of joy and fear. He had never imagined such a thing could happen, yet here it was, undeniable and real. The Queen, too, struggled with her feelings, torn between her duty to her species and the bond she felt with him. Her golden eyes shone with emotion, showing care, worry, and hope all at once. She explained that her people would never understand, and humans might fear the child. Yet, somehow, she felt that together they could face the world. The city around Elias remained unaware of the secret growing inside the Queen. But strange events continued: lights, energy shifts, and whispers of something extraordinary. Some humans started noticing, becoming fearful, suspicious, or in awe. Elias faced new challenges, defending the Queen from those who would harm her. He learned patience, courage, and strength in ways he never knew he had. Every day, the bond between human and alien deepened, unspoken yet undeniable. Conflict grew closer as the Queen's people observed her unusual behavior. They questioned her judgment, warning her that humans were weak and unpredictable. She argued silently with them, defending Elias and the child they carried. For the first time, she felt emotions she could not hide, emotions that went beyond reason. Her loyalty began to shift, not from her species, but from the connection that had grown in her heart. And she realized that this child, half human and half alien, could unite worlds in ways she had never imagined. Elias watched her carefully, understanding her struggle, offering comfort and courage. He could feel the growing life within her, tiny pulses of energy that were both alien and human. Together, they practiced secrecy, hiding the child's existence while preparing for the challenges ahead. They shared moments of wonder, hope, and fear, learning from each other across the impossible divide. Elias felt that he was no longer just a human chosen by the Queen, but a protector and partner. And he knew that the child they were creating could be a symbol of unity, courage, and change. One evening, under the glowing stars, the Queen spoke of the future. She imagined a world where humans and her species could coexist peacefully, guided by trust and understanding. She confessed her fear of rejection, of danger to the child, but also her growing hope. Elias promised to protect both her and the child, no matter what came. They understood that the world outside might never be ready. But together, they had already begun something extraordinary, something that could rewrite the destiny of two species. The story of the child had begun, carrying the promise of hope, courage, and a future that no one had yet imagined. And deep in their hearts, both human and alien knew that the impossible was now real. The days grew tense as news of the Queen's presence spread, even if the humans could not fully understand it. Rumors flew, fear grew, and many doubted the possibility of peace between humans and aliens. Yet Elias and the Queen remained steadfast, their bond unbroken, strengthened by trust and hope. The child they carried symbolized something greater than themselves, a bridge between two worlds. The Queen finally decided to act openly, stepping forward to prevent misunderstanding and conflict. She appeared before humans and her people, her presence commanding attention. Her golden eyes met those of world leaders, scientists, and soldiers, showing power tempered with care. For the first time, she spoke aloud, her voice deep and melodic, conveying a message of unity. She explained her choice, her connection with Elias, and the child that carried both human and alien life. Many humans were skeptical, fear still lingering, but some began to listen. They saw her actions, her willingness to protect rather than destroy. Her people, initially outraged, began to understand the bond she shared with Elias. The Queen's courage and honesty began to change minds on both sides. She proved that trust, empathy, and understanding could outweigh fear and suspicion. Elias stood beside her, a calm presence, his courage visible to all. He spoke softly of humanity's potential, of compassion, bravery, and the desire to grow. The world watched in awe as human and alien stood united, a living example of harmony. Even skeptics could not deny the truth, the Queen had changed, humanity had changed, and the future was different. The child's presence, though unseen, influenced everything. It was a symbol of hope, a promise that both species could learn from each other. Small gestures, acts of cooperation, and shared understanding began to emerge among humans and aliens. Elias and the Queen guided these first steps, careful, patient, and determined. Each day, the bond between worlds grew stronger, fragile yet resilient. As the first hybrid child was born, a miracle of life and trust. Hope spread across Earth and the alien world, bridging fear and misunderstanding. Humans saw that the impossible was possible, that unity could emerge from rejection and doubt. The Queen's people, seeing the child and the courage of Elias, began to change their view of humanity. Together, they celebrated life, trust, and the power of choice. In the quiet moments after the celebration, Elias reflected on the journey. From the first arrival of the Queen, through tests, secret bonds, and the creation of life. He realized that courage, kindness, and understanding could change even the most impossible situation. The Queen looked at him with gratitude and respect, the bond between them unbreakable. And in the child's first eyes, they saw the promise of a future neither world could have imagined alone. The story of rejection had ended, replaced by acceptance and hope. Humanity had faced the unknown and found courage. The Queen had found trust and connection beyond her expectations. And together, they had created a new path for both species. A path guided by compassion, bravery, and the knowledge that even the smallest human heart could change the universe. The stars above seemed brighter now, carrying the whispers of a story that had begun with fear. And ended with the light of understanding, love, and a future full of possibilities.